Let us discuss about coronary circulation. Coronary circulation is the circulation of blood in the blood vessels that supply heart muscle. Heart muscle is also called myocardium. Why coronary arteries are called so? They are called coronary arteries because they encircle the heart in the manner of a crown. They encircle the heart in the manner of a crown. This is the picture of a crown. So they are called coronary arteries. Then, from where the word coronary comes from? The word coronary comes from the Latin word corona and the Greek word coron. The word coronary comes from Latin word corona and the Greek word coron. Both mean crown. The coronary means crown. The coronary circulation consists of arterial supply, venous drainage and lymphatic drainage. So there are three parts for coronary circulation: arterial supply, venous drainage and lymphatic drainage. This picture describes about the arterial supply of the of the heart. Arterial supply of the heart. So there are two main coronary arteries, left coronary artery and the right coronary artery. Both originate from the root of ascending aorta. This is ascending aorta. This is the root. So both the coronary artery, right and the left, originate from the root of aorta. The left coronary artery gives out two main branches, or it divides into two main branches or large branches. One is called a circumflex artery and the other is called the anterior interventricular artery. The two large branches of left coronary artery are circumflex artery and anterior interventricular artery. The right coronary artery on the right side of the heart give rise to another two large branches. One is called a posterior interventricular artery and a right marginal artery. The right coronary artery gives rise to posterior interventricular artery and right marginal artery. Now let us see the four arteries and the areas of the heart supplied by each artery. The left anterior descending artery is also called the left interventricular artery. It supplies right ventricle, left ventricle and the interventricular septum. The circumflex artery, again the other branch of left coronary artery, supplies left ventricle, the anterior, lateral and posterior portion and the left atrium. Then the right coronary artery supplies the entire right atrium, SA node and the AV node. The right marginal branch of right coronary artery supplies the right atrium, the lateral aspect, the right ventricle, the lateral aspect. And the posterior descending artery, again the branch of right coronary artery, supplies the right ventricle, left ventricle in the posterior side and also the interventricular septum in the posterior side. So, left anterior descending artery supplies right ventricle, left ventricle and the interventricular septum. Circumflex artery supplies left ventricle and the left atrium. Right coronary artery supplies right atrium, SA node and AV node. Marginal branch of right coronary artery supplies the lateral aspects of right atrium and the right ventricle. Posterior descending artery of the right coronary artery supplies the posterior aspects of right ventricle, left ventricle and the interventricular septum. Now let us see in briefly about each coronary arteries. First about right coronary artery. It is smaller than the left coronary artery and it originates from the anterior coronary sinus at the base of aorta. It gives rise to large branches and small branches. There are two large branches. One is marginal artery and the other is posterior interventricular artery. The small branches are right atrial, infundibular, nodal and terminal arteries. Then about left coronary artery. It is larger than the right coronary artery. It arises from the left posterior aortic sinus. It arises from the left posterior aortic sinus. Its large branches are named as anterior interventricular artery and the circumflex artery. Its small branches are left atrial, pulmonary and terminal arteries. Large branches are two, anterior interventricular and circumflex artery, and small branches are left atrial, pulmonary and terminal arteries. Then, the second part of coronary circulation is the venous drainage. The first part was arterial supply that we have discussed already. Now we will enter into the venous drainage of the heart. The venous drainage of the heart is by four important veins: the great cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein, small cardiac vein, and a posterior vein of left ventricle. Great cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein, small cardiac vein, and a posterior vein of left ventricle. The third part of coronary circulation is lymphatics of the heart. The lymphatics of the heart accompany coronary arteries. They form two important trunk or two main trunk. The first trunk is called the right trunk, which ends into brachiocephalic node. The second is the left trunk, which empties into tracheobronchial lymph nodes. The right trunk empties into brachiocephalic nodes and the left trunk empties into tracheobronchial lymph nodes. Then about coronary blood supply in brief. In the resting stage or when the body rests, the coronary blood flow is about 225 ml per minute. The rate of coronary blood flow when the body is resting is about 225 ml per minute. In other words, it is about 4 to 5% of the total cardiac output. Then, in severe exercise, the workload of the heart is increased and the coronary blood supply is increased up to 2 liters per minute. In severe exercise, due to increase in the workload of the heart, the coronary blood supply may be increased up to 2 liters per minute. So at rest it is about 225 ml per minute or 4 to 5% of total cardiac output, and during exercise it is about 2 liters per minute. Now we will see in brief, or let us recap what we have discussed so far. So the entire circulation of the body is from the left ventricle. The systemic circulation originates from the left ventricle. Then the blood is ejected into ascending aorta through the aortic valve. So the blood from left ventricle enters into aortic valve. It is ejected into ascending aorta. Then from the base of the ascending aorta, we have two important coronary arteries. The left side we have left coronary artery and the right side of ascending aorta at the base, we have right coronary artery. Then as we have seen earlier, right coronary artery gives rise to marginal artery and a posterior interventricular artery. The left coronary artery gives rise to anterior interventricular artery and a left circumflex artery. The anterior interventricular artery is also called the anterior descending artery, and the posterior interventricular artery is also called the posterior descending artery. Then all these large branches supplies concerned part of the myocardium as we have seen in the table earlier. Then this part of the myocardium by the concerned artery is again drained by corresponding veins. So the part of the myocardium supplied by the marginal artery is drained by small cardiac vein. Then the myocardium supplied by posterior interventricular artery is drained by middle cardiac vein. The great cardiac vein receives deoxygenated blood from the myocardium supplied by the anterior interventricular artery. And lastly, the posterior vein of left ventricle receives deoxygenated blood from the myocardium supplied by the circumflex artery. All these four major veins empty into a larger receptacle called a coronary sinus. All these major veins empty into a large venous receptacle called a coronary sinus. Then the coronary sinus directly empty into right atrium. And as you know, in the cardiac cycle, the blood from right atrium enters into right ventricle, pumped into the pulmonary circulation for oxygenation, and it comes back to the left atrium and then left ventricle, and the coronary circulation continues along with the systemic circulation. Next, some factors regulating the coronary blood flow. You can see here 5 factors: physical, chemical, neural, hormonal, and reflex. The physical factors are BP, heart rate, and cardiac output. The chemical factors are body metabolism and drugs consumed by the body. The neural factors are sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. The hormonal factors are 2 important hormones which include thyroxine and vasopressin. The reflex include 2 reflexes, Andrup's reflex and gastrocoronary reflex. Andrup's reflex is nothing but increased venous return increases coronary blood flow. When the venous return to the heart increases, it increases the coronary blood flow. That is called a Andrup's reflex. Then gastrocoronary reflex is the distension of the stomach with a heavy meal or decreasing coronary blood flow. So when we consume a heavy meal, it will result in distension of the stomach. It decreases venous return and thus it decreases the coronary blood flow. That is called a gastrocoronary reflex. So thus we have come to the end of coronary circulation, and thank you.